welcome the students. Today we shall start the Unit 2 and the first chapter of Unit 2 is Morphology of flowering plants. This is the fifth chapter of NCERT and the first chapter of Unit 2, that is Morphology of flowering plants. It is the chapter 5th of NCERT, that is Morphology of the flowering plants, and the first chapter of Unit 2. Now, first you should know what the meaning of morphology. That is, morpho means outer form and logos means study, means study of outer form of the plant. That is external study of the plant. We shall study. We know that in the classification we have studied that livings are classified into plants and animals, and the plant kingdom is classified into non-seeded and seeded. Non-seeded and the seeded is non-seeded is called cryptogamous, and the seeded are called phanerogamous. In the seeded plants, there are two types. One is non-flowering and next one is flowering. In this, the gymnosperm, and in this the angiosperms. So here is flowering plants means the study of angiospermic plant. Now we shall discuss about the morphology of the angiospermic plant. Now first we see parts of the angiospermic plant. There is a parts of first that part which is found in the soil, that is known as root system. That which is found above the soil is called shoot system. In the shoot system, this is root, this is a stem, this is leaf, these are branched, this is from where the branch is coming out, that is called node, this is also called node, and in between two nodes, that is called internode. Inter means between two nodes. This is flower, this is bud, this is fruits. In the root, this is the main, that is primary root. This is the secondary root. This is the final part, that is root cap. If the again roots are coming out from the secondary, that is called tertiary root. So this is the parts of angiospermic plants, that is root system and shoot system. Root system contains their primary, secondary, tertiary and final root caps. This is also known as taproot. Now the stem contains branches and next leaf and the nodes from an internode, nodes from where the branch, buds, leaf come out from the plant. Next on fruit, buds, like that. These are the parts of a complete angiospermic plant. Now we shall study each one. That is, first one we shall study the root, then the stem, then leaf, then flower, like that. So first we shall study the root. Now the first, what is the root? We know that part which sucks water and minerals from the soil is called root. Understand? Second, root develops from it. Develops from a radicle. The root develops from a radicle. Suppose this is the seed. When we sow it, we grow it, two parts come out. One is goes towards the upward side and one is goes toward the lower side, and that is known as radicle, and that is known as plumule. This develops into a root and this develops into shoot system or stem. Now we have to study this one, and after that we shall study about stem. Now that it develops from radicals, it is it shows negative phototropism, means it moves away from the light. Positive hydrotropism, that is, it moves towards the water. Second, next one, it contain It contains unicellular hairs. Next one, the dicot and monocot. We know two. In the dicots, in the chiton, the root develops into taproot, and from where the secondary and tertiary roots are coming out. But in monocots, this taproot disappears, and in place of that many roots comes around. That is called fibrous root. So in the dicot, taproot is found from a primary, secondary, tertiary, and in the monocots, like maize, wheat, in such examples you get that is fibrous, a bunch of roots. But here is a tap is so this is the main difference between that, the tap and fibrous root. The roots means region of the roots, means zone of the root. We know that this is the radical from which root is developed. This radical change into taproot, and the end parts of this radical change into the taproot, and parts of the taproot. Now we shall see what are the parts of the taproot. Now we see that the last part of that is called root cap. The end part is called root cap, and just a few millimeter above the root cap, that is meristematic zone, in which the cells are densely cytoplasm and have ability to grow, to divide, and due to the divisions the root cap go inside the soil, and just as the meristematic zones divide, these parts start to increase, and the just upward parts is called a region of elongation or elongation zone, and as the zone is somewhat upper, it go matured, that is the region of maturations, and from that regions the root hairs is coming out, and these are unicellular. So in this way the root is divided into polypi, root caps, meristematic zones, elongation zone, a region of elongation, and finally maturation zone. So this is the different zones of a different parts of a root, and from the maturation zone the unicellular root hairs come out. Now the modification of roots. We know that the main function of the root is absorption of water and minerals from the soil. These are the main function of root, and for doing another functions, in addition to that, for doing another function, it modified into different forms. That is called modification of streams. Means for doing other function, it modifies into different form, and that is called modification of root. Understand? Now these functions may be for support, for reserving food, etc. Now for reserving food, it may be of three types. One is conical, fusiform, napiforms. These are the different types. Conicals, in which cone-like structures, and that is examples: carrot, this is carrot. It is also a root, and it modified into a reserve foods. Fusiforms, radish, that is muli. Napiform, that is beet or sorghum, like that. So these are the different forms of the modification of roots, and that's main function is for reserving food. In the modification root, we know that roots are of two types. One is taproot, and next one is adventitious root. The root which develops from a radical, the root which develops on a radical is called taproot, and the root which develops from other than a radical, the root which develops from other than a radical, that these are the adventitious root. Now just we studied the modification of root, the conical, napiform, fusiforms. These are the modification of taproot. Now we see the modification of adventitious root. We know that is the modification of adventitious root. Adventitious root modification. First one is root. It founds in the banyan. You know that from the plants of the branch, and from which the banyan roots are come out. These are called root, and sometimes it increases and goes to the soil and becomes a support for that plant. banyan पौधे में उनके तनों से उससे एडवांटेजेस रूट निकल के कभी कभी उतनी ज्यादा लंबी हो जाती है कि वो जमीन में आकर सट के और जमीन से बाकायदा एक सपोर्ट की जैसा बन जाती है. दैट्स व्हाई दिस इज कॉल्ड रूट. इट हेल्प इन सपोर्ट. इन फंक्शन इज support. Now still root. It is also used as well, but you know, in the maize, you see that this is the plants, and from here the nodes are come out, and roots are come out. So this is the stilt root. Is found in the maize. मक्के के पौधों में देखते होंगे कि जमीन से ऊपर जो नोड्स होते हैं उससे रूट्स निकल के एडवेंटिटियस रूट निकल के और जमीन में जाके लग जाती है और उससे पौधे को एक सपोर्ट मिलता है. समझे? सम इन द मार्श एरिया और स्वैम्प एरिया, दलदली क्षेत्रों में from the plant, the plant and some time of roots are come out. These are called pneumatophores. Such roots are called pneumatophores, and they are actually respiratory root. In the marsh area, example the rhizopus. In the respiratory root, they exchange the gases and takes the oxygen. So roots are found in the where the amount of oxygen is low in the soil. So the roots are come out from the soils to take the oxygen. These are called pneumatophores. These are called pneumatophores. Example, actually, this is rhizopora. These are found in marsh area or swampy area.